Hi, we'll show you another game. The title of this game is Puppet Me. So how do you do Puppet Me? This is how it is done. First, you have one partner in front of you and the other will be at the back of that partner. He is the puppet, I am the puppeteer. Then you give the instruction. You tell the puppeteer to do anything at all and the puppet will follow the puppeteer. Like this one. For example, the instruction given is, draw me a dinosaur or whatever. Then the puppet will have to follow because the puppeteer is the one controlling the puppet. See, that's called puppet me. That is why sometimes we control people. No, we instead of giving them their freedom, we control people. Another is what we call good, bad, you. The good and the bad in you. This is how it is done. This is how it is done. First, you have to be back to back with your partner. Now, the instruction is like this. You give the instruction. Say all the good things that you know about that person. Okay? Like this one. Hey Roy, I heard that you're a very obedient boy.
Yes, and I'm obedient.
Oh, do you follow your parents?
Yes, I'm clean. I wash the dishes and I clean the house.
I see. You do household chores. I like that because
Wow.
you're a good boy.
Hey, thank you.
Do you have many friends too?
Yes, all friends.
Do you play with your friends?
Yes.
Oh, I like that. You see, that's the good part of the person. Now this time, we will tell all the negative about that person. Again, it's back to back. Hey Roy, I heard that you're a bully.
Yes, because I kick my brother.
Oh,
And
you're
he-
hurting people. You should not hurt people.
Yes, also then and kick and then
What
and
do you
push.
mean yes? It should be no because you don't hurt people. That's not good. No, that's not Christian. That's not even Catholic. We have to care for one another.
No. Because I kick my brother and I kick
No,
her.
I don't like that. You have to change. I have to change. You have to be good. Okay?
Yes, yes.
That's what we call the bad in the person. The title of that game is The Good and the Bad You. Back to back. This is what we call the storyteller. How is the game storyteller done? This is how it is done. I will act as the storyteller and the other one, and everything that I will say, he will interpret that in movements. Everything that I will say, he will interpret that in movements. For example, once upon a time, there was this little boy. He was walking, and he went to the ocean. Oh, he would like to swim in that ocean. And so he swam in that ocean and he saw a very big fish. He was surprised. It's a shark! It's a shark! He was running. He was swimming out of the ocean. He's swimming out of the waters. Oh my God! He was gasping. Gasping. And he began to pray. Lord, help me. Help me. Thank you for saving my life. Lord, thank you so much. Etc. etc. That's what we call a storyteller. Any story at all. It can be a biblical story like David and Goliath. It can be about the prodigal son, and somebody will act it out. They can be one or two or three doing that. But in our case, because we're only two, so Roy was doing it, doing pantomime and movements. That's what we call the storyteller. This game is entitled Musical Instrument. It can be 3 or 4, or it can be dyad, only two of us. How is musical instrument done? It is done this way. You make a musical instrument with your partner. Any musical instrument at all. For example, Roy, I'll make a piano out of him, and at the same time a drum out of him, and at the same time a tambourine out of him, and twinkle twinkle, and then I will play. Na 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 taas mo. Na 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 ulit na 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 tan 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 That's musical instrument. It's a very funny game. It's a very funny game. Another game, this is mind talk. How do you do mind talk? This is a very silent game. All you have to do is to converse with one another. You are not to talk, only through with your mind. For example, the facilitator or the teacher will give the topic. For example, our topic today is about, what do you think about COVID-19? What do you think about the pandemic? What is happening now because we have pandemic? Then we will converse only in silence. We will close our eyes only in silence. No. Okay, after a few minutes, then you can ask them. So, what do you think about COVID-19, Roy?
My father and my parents and my brother and sister.
Oh, I
miss.
You missed it. I also thought of that. I think pandemic is so, it has changed the face of the earth today. No?
Yes.
Etc. etc. So you give them, they will converse only using their mind. That's what we call mind talk. Another game, oh, I like this game, but be careful with this game. The title of this game is Deal or No Deal. How is it done? First, you ask your partner any precious object he owns. For example, a cell phone. No? For example, a cell phone, okay? This is a cell phone, and he will give me his cell phone, and the facilitator will give the instruction. At the count of 3, he will drop the cell phone. See what he will do. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, you see? What does it mean? We are sinners. Humanity, because of his sin, fall. But God saved us in spite of us. Jesus tried to catch us. This is just a game. Of course, it's more than that. The title is Deal or No Deal. Another game. The title is Life's Center. How is Life's Center done? It is done this way. Be careful with this game, because there are some naughty students who will really hurt one another. In Life Center, we will do struggling. We will struggle. Struggle. Yeah. But then, if I will put a crucifix or a rosary or even a religious object at the center of our struggling with one another, see how we behave going on. You see, before we were very aggressive. But when we put the religious image, the crucifix, the rosary, we were very careful with our movements. What does it mean? If you put God at the center of your life, all your struggles, all your problems, all your depression will be toned down. You will be very careful next time. That's what we call life's center. This one is about parables. You know, Jesus proclaimed the kingdom of God through storytelling, and he made use of the parables. So how is the game parables done? First, the facilitator will give his theme. For example, our theme today is about life. Okay? Using life as the theme, how will you compare life? Using the images around you. And from those images, you come up with a story and you try to explain life about that. For example, the partner now will do the action. The parable of the seed. Life is like a small seed, and you water it, the sun gives it warm, and then from the tiny seed, a small leaf is sprouting. Roots are sprouting. Life is like that. From a small, you begin to bloom, you begin to grow. So the tiny seed becomes a small plant until he becomes a very, very tall tree. Playing with the wind. The birds are nesting in its branches, and there are lots of fruits. Life, if it is well spent, will become full. That's the parable of the seed. And so, you can make other stories, no? Parables, anything at all. Give a topic, and then your partner will show it in movements. That's what we call parables. This game is entitled Transformation. How do you do transformation? I will give my partner any object at all. So this is a newspaper. At the count of 50, or depends on your number, no? I will challenge him to create something beautiful out of that object. Anything at all. From this newspaper, or maybe any object. In our case, we're using the newspaper. Maybe it can be a can, it can be a cloth, anything at all that you see around you. And from that object, create something beautiful out of this object. I will count 1 to 50, and by that time, when the number is finished, you have to see me something beautiful. This newspaper is transformed into something beautiful. Okay?
Yes.
Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 7, 48, 49, and 50. Wow! Look at that! He is able to make a flower out of that newspaper. Something beautiful. We call that transformation. Okay? Maganda? Cut, 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 cut.